you're back. Solitary isn't so fun, is it? 2 weeks, alone. Just you, your thoughts. But that makes you real excited for a chat. Huh? I need you to tell me the locations of Clone Force 99. Now, if you tell me, I'll set you free. Think about it. No more darkness. No more being alone. Sounds like Scarif. I know you're not just a cameraman. No. You are much more than that. But I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for the batch. Tell me, where are they?
You don't believe me at all, do you?
As a matter of fact, you stay here.
And where else could I go?
Oh, damn it! Welcome back to the next episode of Blore on Mandalore. I am your host, Jeremy Blore. I'm super keen for this episode. I have been rewatching these probably about 3 times now. Best episodes of Star Wars animation. Hands down. Hands down. Some of the coolest episodes. Now, you can look at a few ones like End of Clone Wars with Vader holding the helmet. Cool, that's fine. But outside of something that's been built up over years and years and years and years of live action, animation, the culmination of just a singular squad, this has been incredible, and I'm so keen to break it down for you guys. I'm pointing, I'm keen! Ready to talk about this thing. So we are back with a structure similar to what I was doing before, but there's a couple of new things that we've added in. So let's see if you like it. I'm going to stop pointing at the camera. If you haven't noticed, I've updated the set. The set is looking fresh. It's looking new. First of all, every single episode, I'm talking non-stop for like an hour and 20 minutes. And I forgot water every single time. So, beautiful, beautiful. That's a little bit of ASMR. I also have my little clones. I got this as a present from my brother. That is a 501st Legion. Now, basically what I've done with it, and I'll bring one of these up there towards the camera, I have, with the kit that was available to me, customized my own. He ended up kind of looking a little more like Rex, but like a basic clone turned into Rex. Anyways, I love him. I think he's cool. So that's my guy. He's also got a big old heavy backpack on. That's just because he's a gangster and he can carry heaps of weight. Because if you've been watching this show, you realize that I love badass dudes and chicks who can just be super strong. Like Wrecker. Wrecker is the GOAT. Wrecker is a gangster. Anyways, on top of that, I also have a new setup right here. I can't pan the camera, but you can see it where I'm pointing. I got a couple of new sets. Now, I got an ATST. This is, by the way, if you haven't seen anything before this, I am a huge collector of, I'm a collector of Star Wars The Vintage Collection. It's the 3.75-inch Hasbro collectibles. It's toys for kids. It's just targeted for dudes like me who waste way too much money trying to have the characters that they love looking at on screen right in front of them all the time. And I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker for it. And a lot of the people around me who I love so much, shout out to everyone who's gotten me a figure. Girlfriend, my beautiful girlfriend. My mum, amazing. My brother as well. Freaking awesome. He got me some really cool stuff. He also got me I have all my 6-inch figures, but I just wanted to show this one. I've got it next to it, but you can't see it on screen. I have the Battlefront 2 version of General Grievous. It's the battle-worn. It's the battle-worn one. So he's a gangster. My brother was super kind for getting me that one. I also have, you know what? I may as well talk. I only have a few of the 6 inches. I don't like the bigger figurines. I like the smaller ones, mainly because when I grew up, I had a little army toy, which I got again. I found my dad found him in a box while we were moving. By the way, I used to carry him around with me everywhere. I traded my Indiana Jones figurine for him. Stupidly, in hindsight, I love Indiana Jones. I'm one of the biggest Indiana Jones fans. And I traded my Indiana Jones figurine for my toy army man to my cousin, who I feel like ripped me off. And then he just got rid of my Indiana Jones figure. That was really rude. Anyways, so I collect all of the smaller ones because that's a 3.75. It's a G.I. Joe army man. He's an Anzac as well, up the Aussies. But yeah, so this is my Darth Maul. This is the old master from Battlefront 2. I love Battlefront 2. I probably actually will be doing some gameplay of Battlefront 2 as well at one point. I want to do some more shortwave content, and I'm going to partner up with my bestie boo. Shout out to you, Joshy Washy. He is a massive support of not just this channel, but me and doing anything. And I love you, bro. I love you so much. Gonna do some Battlefront 2. I'm a Han main, so if you like that, get ready for it. I also added, if you've seen the very first episode, the very first intro, I had that up on the door. It is a Mandalorian covert symbol, mythosaur symbol, from the Book of Boba Fett. When Mando was going and he was using his infrared and he saw, what, it's a mythosaur. It's the way they were able to basically stay unseen throughout, and I love that symbol. I have a mythosaur tattoo. I hope you guys can see it there. Anyways, when I got that one, I was like, oh, maybe I should also get that mythosaur as well, but get it in infrared. Not the infrared ink. I guess it is. It's like the purple light ink. Put it on, and then only in UV light. Ooh, black light. Ooh, can you see it? So when people go, oh, show us your room in black light, I say, boom. And then they think, oh, well, he's a Mandalorian, he's so cool. They definitely don't think very childish, dirty thoughts. But yes, onto that again. My bad. I have Mando and the Mithril. So cool. The Mithril came with a bounty puck that had a projection of the Mithril with the amount of credits that he's worth and his name. He had that up there, and I thought, oh my god, I have to get it. I have to get it just because I purely want Mando. He's holding handcuffs with a bounty puck, and I've got the Mithril there with a little welder and a blaster. Basically, what I like to think about is the Mithril going, "You can't take me again, Mando," and the Mando being like, "I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold." That was a line that got me back into Star Wars. That's an episode in and itself. But I remember distinctly watching The Mandalorian. I was hiding away from my ex-girlfriend at the time at my place. I was like, oh, I don't want to go over. I'm going to watch one more. I'm going to watch one episode of the show, and then I'm going to go. I'd watched all of the Star Wars in the movies, obviously the prequels and the original trilogy. The original trilogy would have to be freaky old right now to be doing it, and I'd look fantastic. But who's to say I don't? But I saw all of the movies and I just kind of started to lose love for it. I wasn't seeing as much Star Wars. I wasn't doing as much with it. And then I heard The Mandalorian was coming out. Now, I didn't watch it until it was all out. I was like, oh, I don't know. This new Disney era. I was a part of that crew. The whole, I don't know, that Disney era is not looking too good. But then all I heard from my mate, Jack Muston, I fucking love you. All I heard from him was, dude, he's a space cowboy. He's badass. And I was like, all right, I'm giving it a go. I checked the very first episode and the very first line, I can bring you in warm. Or I can bring you in cold. I was like, cue orgasmic sounds. That was incredible. Incredible. I was instantly hooked. I watched about 3 episodes. I got in so much trouble, but we move on. And we have a water while we do it. So much better, so much more comfortable. Guys, look, if you're watching this right now, I hope you're sitting back. I hope you're relaxing. Get ready, because I'm so keen to dive into these episodes. If you're doing a poo while you're watching this, push. Take a moment. Don't worry about anything else. Think about you and the toilet and just push. It's you and me right now. We're locking eyes. And I'm telling you, you can do this. I believe in you. There we go. Proud of you. Keep up the hard work. And for the other people who are just sitting down on the couch, if you are watching YouTube on the big TV, hell yeah, you're a gangster. I don't know too many people that do that. But if you do, you might have to have a YouTube premium subscription, because, oh my God, the ads that they do when you put it on the big screen, it's non-stop. So I hope they're not advertising the hell out of this and going bang, 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 bang. Because I didn't put up any ads. I didn't put up anything like that. So, hey, don't shoot the messenger or the Star Wars boy. All right? Don't shoot the Star Wars boy. But I hope you're sitting back. I hope you're relaxing. Let's dive into it. So, we have episode 6, Infiltration. Now, I said about last week's episode, that was the best episode that I've ever seen in animation. I said that. And I knew the moment I said that, I would sign myself up for failure. Because this week's episodes were incredible. Mainly because they've got nothing to lose here. They know that they're finishing after this season. They can give it their all. They can go completely bonkers, out there, wild, add everything in. Chuck as much information. Bang, boom, pow. Action. Motivation. Love. Hey, we haven't seen any love yet, but what if? Star Wars What If. Crosshair and Hunter fall madly in love with each other. Oh, crazy. Episode 6, 10 out of 10. What the hell was that? I could not I could not sit still. I can't sit still now, apparently. That was the best episode of any animation that I've ever seen. Now, I've seen a lot of good episodes, and I've seen a lot of good animation. This takes the cake. By far. Holy moly. Episode 7. I'm going to give that an 8.5 out of 10. Now, the reason why I say that is because I feel like, not only have they just blown it out of the park, you had to have the first 3 episodes drop at the same time. You had to have the next episode after that, episode 4, solo. 5, solo. You had to. And then these 2, you had to keep them together. And that's why I'd say the second one, episode 7, is going to be an 8.5. out of 10 because it needed to be released at the same time as episode 6. It was basically just a continuation. It was episode 7 is just 6.5. And I know you're going to say, Jeremy, what the hell are you talking about? You obviously need the previous episode of anything to be able to go into the next episode. And I say, shut up. Shut up. Kindly. You know, that's rude. Hear me out, brother. I love... That's a loud motorbike. But I love loud motorbikes. And the fact that these 2 episodes were jammed right in together and put in with action. Episode 7 was lacking more character development, which is why I gave it a little less. Episode 7 was lacking a little bit more fun, I guess. Fun. I mean, but it was terrifying. Terrifying. So, pair that with episode ranking. Now, we all know that I gave the previous episode 5 an S tier ranking. I also gave this one for episode 6 an S tier, but a high S tier. By far my favorite episode, not just of the season, but of Bad Batch entirely, of Clone Wars entirely. Because, Bad Batch is an extension of Clone Wars. Also, if you're being distracted right now by my hand, I had glass through it, but I'm going to slowly turn into Iron Man. Poo, poo. I'm healing, and the bandage is kind of falling off. So that's why I'm kind of like rubbing it and stuff. Don't get distracted. Stay on track. My eyes are up here. S tier, favorite episode. High S tier, though, because that was incredible. Animation, mwah, mwah. You had the character development, mwah, mwah. You had the action, mwah, mwah. You had the lore. Oh, made out with my fingers on that one. Episode 7. I give that a high A tier. 8.5 is super high. Again, you're probably... If you're watching this and you watch the previous episodes, you're like, Jeremy, you haven't put anything below A tier. Yeah, because I'm a sucker. I am an absolute sucker for recency bias. Recency bias basically just means the more recent you've seen something, the higher you put it. And you are biased or you are favorable towards certain things. For me, it would be these episodes for sure, and Bad Batch in general for sure. It's been so good. It's been so good. But at the end of this, just to calm those uneasy minds, at the end of this, I'm going to be putting a whiteboard up here, probably up here because there's less light. This light, I've got a little stage light down there. It makes the whole room kind of warm. I'm going to put a whiteboard up here, and I will be ranking every episode. Boom, 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 boom. And telling you why. But I believe that's probably going to be a separate episode entirely. Probably going to do like a recap of the whole thing plus a ranking, kind of talking about my favorite moments of the whole series. So that's going to be like a whole episode entirely, like a whole week's episode. But hopefully that's not going to be the only time I'm doing content in that week, because at that point, like these weeks now is going to be heavily into basically breakdowns because at the start of the week I'm doing a lot into my intro, which I hope you enjoy what's going on right now with my intros. I'm thinking of just keeping a story going. It's kind of cool. Got the cameraman and we've got the investigator. Cue the theme song. He doesn't have a theme song. But I'm working on a theme song right now for this show. It's a damn shame we don't have it yet. However, I'm not musically inclined. I'm basically like a monkey tapping on a keyboard. So if you like monkeys tapping on a keyboard, get ready for the intro music right now. Welcome to the blower on the Mandalore. Welcome to a blower on the Mandalore. And I'm your host, Jeremy Blower. That was pretty good, but it's not going to stay. That was actually kind of crap. All right. Jeremy, will you do the honors of a 1 minute review? Absolutely. Absolutely. These voices, they're telling me so many beautiful things to do. 1 minute review. Episode 6, incredible, purely because of animation, action, and just Crosshair's character development. What is going on here? Not only that, I love looking at the clones and the remnants of the clones. Clones are, if you haven't seen anything so far, clones are my favorite thing about Star Wars, really, effectively. I love Mandalorians. Mandalorians are always going to be you can't rival Mandalorians, so I have to just take it out of the category in itself, because I am a Mandalorian myself. I am the Mandalorian. Did I just tease something? What? Go into that in a sec. And then we have episode 7, action. Old characters, new weaknesses. What? I thought the clone commandos were going to be stronger. I'll go into that. And just in general, uprising of the clones. Jeremy, but you've been saying that for so many episodes. Yeah, absolutely I have been. I am obsessed with the idea. The clones are going to rise. And I just spilled water all over my pants. But the clones are going to rise up. The clones are going to take control. And they are going to live a very happy life. And I'm going to be really happy. And we're all going to sit down around a campfire and love each other. And the Empire is not going to turn up and turn against them. Okay? Done. Done with that. Done with that for now. Let's put this to the side. Because we're going into... I got to turn... I turned left, Zoolander. Concepts and theories with an overview of the episode. Wow. I'm really adding all the stops into this one. This has been incredible so far. I'm really liking it. Episode 6, Infiltration. First of all, when I saw the names, because every time when I say the episode and the name, I always want to talk about why. Why are there the name? Why are the names that? These are pretty simple names. Infiltration and Extraction. Pretty simple names. I think you know why, but I'll tell you what I thought beforehand what it was going to be, which I talked a little bit about on the previous episode, which I thought it was going to be about Tantus. I actually thought we were about to see the Clone Rebellion now. How silly I was. What a silly Billy. A little silly Willy. I thought it was going to be now. I thought when the trailer dropped and it was you see all of this amazing action. You see the big clone vehicle. Ooh, I can't remember what the clone vehicle is. Oh, I forgot. It's off the top of my head. It's literally one of my favorites ever. Anyways, doesn't matter. I used to have one when I was a kid. I just called it the big truck. So I guess we can call it the big truck. But you see them going up on the mountainside, what definitely looks like Mount Tantus. And it looks awesome. But I thought that was going to be these 2 episodes done with every bit of footage aside from Asajj Ventress. Every bit of footage that we see on the trailer, it's done now. So everything that we see is new. Because, obviously not everyone does what I do. And every Star Wars content creator, they dive into the trailer. And, you see, especially the guys at Beyond the Dune Sea, a little special plug, chuck them on your subscribe list. They are way too good to be true. I just listened to their previous episode about episode 5. Oh, chef's kiss. Incredible. Those guys don't miss. They don't miss at all. You've never, ever seen a Star Wars podcast as good as these guys. Look, I hope one day that I can even rival the minimum effort. Not effort, but the minimum quality that they bring. They are just out of this world incredible. Incredible. But yeah, like you search through the whole trailer and you comb everything through. And when you see stuff like Crosshair in armor in the ship, you're like, oh. And everyone's like theories, oh, maybe that's not Crosshair and that's just the armor left around. It's another clone. It's Crosshair. Come on. Of course it's Crosshair. Like we saw him before trying to escape and then, oh, and Omega's there stuck. And, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, they're brothers. Ah. Obviously it was going to be Crosshair. You see heaps of action. I really wish they didn't spoil Asajj. Obviously, there needs to be a reason for people to want to watch the show. And a lot of the time they go, what? Oh my God, Asajj Ventress is going to be in it. We have to watch. But personally, I think that actually deterred a lot of fans. Mainly the fans who read the books. Because Asajj Ventress is... And she died. With Quinlan Voss. Dead. So a lot of people were really upset when they were like, we're bringing in Asajj Ventress. That's a bit stupid because what happened here? Does that retcon everything? And, you know, Dave Filoni and the directors of... Dave Filoni didn't direct Bad Batch. The directors... Every week I forget their names. I bloody prepared it. Over there, you can't say behind the camera, but I prepared it. And I still bloody forget. My memory is like a goldfish. Anyways. So Dave Filoni had to go out and just be like, oh, hey, by the way, no, like we've done research. You're fine. And one of the directors, I believe it's a male and a female director. But one of the directors was just like, yeah, no, trust me. Like we went through like hours and hours and hours of footage and books and everything. Like gathering up as much lore to fit this in perfectly as possible. And if I'm going to be honest, I've seen the way they've been doing this season lately. Smashing. Keep it up. Keep going. Please. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you can. They're incredible. Absolutely incredible. No doubt in my mind that whatever they're doing is canon. Well, I mean, it has to be now. But it's not retconning. I think whatever they're doing now is going to be influential and impactful without ruining the impact of the books. That's hand on my heart. I truly believe that, mainly because of the quality of everything that's been going on. Okay. God damn, I get sidetracked. Episode 6, Infiltration. We open up, we see Rex in his coat. Now, that coat kind of looks like an Aussie dry as a bone. Dry as a bone, because it is a waterproof coat. I am a sucker for just armor with a coat over it. A poncho, whatever, covering, cloth, don't care. Chuck something over armor to make it be like, oh, we're hidden, but we're dangerous. Urgh. The coolest. I've been searching for a Rex in the 3.75 with that just like a coat on. And I don't think I've only seen 6-inch version of it, so hopefully they add one soon, and that's going to be one of the first that I buy. God, Rex's armor is so cool. Keep on trying to bring up stuff in my head. Like, I want to buy Rex's helmet from the Hasbro Black Series. I've got Mandalorian, I've got Darth Vader, and I want to get the Rex one. Oh my God, the Rex one is so cool. He's so cool. Anyways, so we see Rex and he's escorting Senator Singh. Important because Senator Singh was a separatist. And Senator Singh is meeting up with Senator Rio Chuchi, who was a part of the Republic. So basically what we're seeing here is the two sides are so fractured from the Empire that they're like, oh no, we both hate the Empire. Boom. It's like the enemy of my enemy is a friend. Well, now they've got friends all over the galaxy because we've got the Separatists and the Republic all put together. Now that's a pretty powerful army. Then we see the Special Forces first time appearing. Everyone was calling it Special Forces, but now we've got a name to it. It's called the Shadow Trooper. What a cool name. In the shadows. Sick. I don't like the armor as much. It kind of looks like Tron Legacy mixed in with the clones. But it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. So, hats off to the designers. You've made some cool stuff. Especially with the ring lighting here. Ah, come on. So sick. And how you can press it and it opens up the whole helmet. Yep, absolutely. I just changed my mind. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's not one of my favorite helmets, but it is a pretty cool helmet. Are we seeing an uprising? Also, if you haven't watched this before, I write notes across the whole episodes, and I just kind of talk about what I've seen and what I think is going to happen and is happening. What I think is possibly with the Separatists and the Republic coming together is there going to be some sort of coup towards the Empire. Is that the spark of the rebellion? Maybe. But it's not helping the Empire that they're occupying every planet. So we have, after that, the Shadow Trooper coming through, and he's clearing out his way to get to the senators because his target is Senator Singh. Even though Rex is... how he got Rex to take him over, or even how Senator Chuchi was able to get Rex to leave his main mission to just like basically bodyguard, beyond me. But maybe he's just doing it for the money. And because, I mean, we've seen the Batch. They need the money. They don't have the credits of the Republic anymore. Like the richest bloody empire ever. They don't have the credits. So they need to do jobs that will effectively keep their main mission going, which is liberate clones. So the Shadow Trooper is going through, taking out all of these clones as he's going through. But the one thing I noticed was how carefully he places the clones. Now, at this point in the show and in anything, we thought that there was only one of the Shadow Troopers. Now we know they're called the Shadow Troopers. But we thought there was only one of the Shadow Troopers. Turns out there's multiple. I didn't know this when I was looking at it, but I thought straight away when I saw him so carefully laying down the clones, it's such an inherent clone trait to take care of their brothers. Be that on each side. It doesn't matter if it's in the Empire or, I guess, the Rebellion. You know, I was straight away, I was like, oh, okay, that's a clone. And then instantly, please don't be tech. Please don't be tech. We move on. The Shadow Trooper throws a grenade in. Rex is still on the top of his game. He is prime right now. He's not only taken all of his knowledge from the Republic, but also outside of that and meeting with all of these different kind of troopers and different kind of soldiers, learning so much more. He is probably, like, knowledge-wise, strategist-wise, at his peak. This is his prime. And you see he hasn't lost touch. Not like Crosshair, who's getting all shaky. Picks up the grenade. Boom! Right through this tiniest little gap. Out of there. So later on, from that, we get to their base. They've got a hidden base, as you would expect from clones that are hiding from the Empire. They would have a hidden base. And we get to see all of the colors of the clones. Multiple different legions. Obviously, the main one that sticks out is the purple, which is the 187th Legion, Mace Windu, because Mace Windu had a purple lightsaber. What? Stuck out because it's such a bright color. But all of their designs are so refreshing. We're so used to, obviously, Bad Batch is like mainly black, and they've got little bits of color now, but we see it all the time. And then the Empire, it's black and white and boring, and you don't want to bloody see that all the time. You're back to the classic clones. They're back, baby. I'm keen for it. I love that they're doing it. I also love that they've got the custom armor pieces, like the padding and so on, and all the, not the padding, the bloody patches here. Patches? What am I on about? They've got the pouches. Me no speak English. No hablo English. For our Spanish market out there, no hablo English. But yeah, I'm like, I've been playing a lot of Halo Infinite lately with my boy JT. It's been so much fun, and being able to customize your own armor and individual pieces, like pouches on the side. You've also got like the visor and the helmet itself, what goes on your chest plate, your shoulders, and so on. So I'm a huge, huge fan because of Halo of armor modifications. And the fact that the clones get to do that now, booyakasha. Booyakasha. Bloody sick. Bloody sick. So cool. Whoa. I just thought about a different idea, which I'll have to expand on later. Basically, the Shadow Troopers, the Shadow Trooper that was taken, they showed his face. Boing! Whoosh! And I thought straight away, I kind of looked away. I was like, you know, because I was like, please don't be Tech. Please don't be Tech. Oh, God, if they had Tech and he was just a brainwashed loser, I was just ruin everything. You know, call up the batch like, oh, yeah, guys, I think you might want to be here. It's like, shut up, mate. No, keep Tech dead. I love Tech. Don't get me wrong. I love his character. Keep him dead. Keep him dead, please. I'm going to be so disappointed. I'm going to be so disappointed if he comes back. Because it's made such an important part of their progression as characters. It's just like, it means so much more. I get myself all worked up. But the Shadow Troopers, they have an electro capsule, which is basically like the Star Wars version of a cyanide pill, like lodged up there in their teeth. So they just have to go like, dislodge, bite, death. Because they're special forces, and no one can know our identities and the reasons why we are doing what we do. Yes, sir. Hoorah! They also have tracking. I wiped their ID numbers, by the way, so we don't know which clones they are. Maybe even if they are clones. But I mean, knowing the Empire, they're not going to do this to regular people. They're just going to do it to clones because they don't care about them. But yeah, they've wiped the ID numbers, and they've also got tracking in their body. Bloody scary. Bloody scary. This is the first time we see that there's more than one Shadow Trooper. I thought, well, this guy, like the dude who they captured, pretty stoic. Oh, he's not speaking. Oh, maybe we could see more of him later. I was kind of wrong about that because obviously, bush, death. But then we see Scorch, which is the clone commander from the Republic Commander games. Scorch comes up and he talks to the Shadow Trooper, who's like, why the hell are you assigning me? You've already got that dude out there. And he's like, look, he's gone. MIA. I need to find out what's happened to him, and he's still alive because we can still track him. So go end his life. Because in Star Wars, you can't say kill. Wow. Because they don't die. No one dies in Star Wars. No one. So annoying. Or is it? It's also not annoying because we brought back Maul. Maul is literally one of my favorite characters ever. I'm pointing to Maul because pointing to the thing there. I also have a Maul figurine that's on my bedside table, which I'm going to post at one point. But I was also thinking of maybe adding it to the set, but it's pretty crowded here now. I've got a lot of my Star Wars stuff. I'd never ever want to get rid of my baby right here. This is my girl. I love the M1 Naboo Starfighter. The coolest. Now the ATST, sick. So hard to bloody get standing up. That took me hours. I'm going to post a photo of that to my Instagram as well. It'd be cool. Don't worry. You're going to like it. Yeah, I showed my girlfriend and she said, that was really cute, honey. And I said, you don't call me honey. And she goes, honey. Anyways, I don't know why I went on that tangent. But, so Scorch talks to I'm going to call him the higher up Shadow Trooper. Because he seems to have more knowledge. He seems to be better. He seems to just do things better. More skilled. So he's higher up. So for the rest of the thing, I'm going to call him higher up. But yeah, basically we see that there's more than one. And we see the ship that he has. Oh my god, is that the coolest ship design? It's like a mix between the Mandalorian ship and the bloody... and like a Venator class. Sick! Okay, get out of here, Paige. We're done with you. Fuck. It nearly came back again. That was 3 times. Anyways. So, with the interrogated Shadow Trooper, Rex, he doesn't go hard. He's not like, where's the money, Lebowski? You know, waterboarding, punching. Not like in the Clone Wars when we see, Cad Bane is being trapped and we've got Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Anakin all like force-minding him and he's just like making sure... you're going to tell us all of the information. Rex is different. Rex is not like that. Rex is not going to hurt his brother. He's really soft with him. And even Fireball is like, you need to do more. But he just can't. And it shows his true character. I mean, it's very similar to Ahsoka in this point. Ahsoka has changed him for the better. We don't hurt the brothers. We put our weapons on stun. I think it's nice that they're continuing that way. If anyone is going to change, it's everyone but Rex. He's the only one that stays true to who he is. And that's what makes him such an incredible character, and which is why everyone loves him so much. Man. He's a beautiful guy. That's what makes me want to have a Rex helmet as well. He's so cool. They find out Omega is the target when they check that little clip. The little information puck that they've got. They find out, oh, well, he's not only just going for Senator Singh, he's also going for Omega. Wait, Omega needs to be captured alive. Oh, God, we need to call the batch. So, they call in. Batch are like, hey, why does Rex need us? And Echo's like, look, I tell you what, I don't know, but it must be important because Rex does not do that. And we know that from the previous seasons. He's like, look, you can call on me at any time. And they're like, look, same here. But only really when it's important. Because why would you waste your brother's lives brothers, as in like all of the clones. Why would you waste the clones' lives for like a small mission when one could potentially be at risk? You'd rather keep like a tight knit group that are super special, that are work together really well, kind of like the Bad Batch do in themselves, but they don't work with Rex all the time. Rex has his crew now. Hunter has his crew. Don't really work too well all the time together, but we see in episode 7 that's different. But Fireball he's not too welcoming towards Crosshair. In season 2, we see Crosshair working with the Empire, and he goes to Ryloth. On Ryloth, he is fighting Fireball's crew. So Fireball lost a good amount of his brothers to Crosshair. If people went to your house, well, if a dude went to your house and he killed your dog, don't John Wick me, but he killed your dog, he killed your brother, and he killed your dad, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to forgive him just because he said he's good now. Completely get it. He's super, super off Crosshair. And Rex is kind of like, I mean, the same thing. He's a brother. But he's also like, you know what? You can believe what you want to believe. If Hunter trusts him, I'm going to trust him. It's fair enough. Hunter's pretty wary. And if Hunter goes, you know what? Nah, it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, and then on the ship as well, I forgot to say, on the ship, Omega was copying Crosshair with the little toothpick. So it opens up and we see Omega sitting on the chair like this with the toothpick, and Crosshair sitting the same thing. I believe that Omega is going to be the final person, the final Ronin, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All of the turtles die except for Mikey, and he gets all of the things that they were so skillful at. He becomes a part of them, and he turns it into the final Ronin. I think we're going to see Omega inherit a lot of the traits. Obviously can't do too much with Wrecker, but inherit a lot of the traits of the whole batch and become just some overpowered monster that's going to be a ruthless bounty hunter or protector of the clones. We never know. However, I think that actually is going to be the case. Omega gets a new weapon, the energy crossbow. So sick. Looks like Boba's E3 blaster. So cool that they've made it very similar. Now, in doing that, you're comparing the Alpha and the Omega of Jango's DNA. Unaltered clones. But maybe Omega was altered. Because she's so easily able to be manipulated with, or her blood is so easily be able to manipulate it with the M count. Or absorbed. We haven't seen exactly yet. Hopefully they kind of bring it on more. Wrecker comes out of the ship and he's just like, oh, they don't seem too happy to see us like before. Basically, earlier season 1 and also in the Clone Wars season 7, you see the regs, as they call them, not happy. They're like, ugh, defectives. Yucky. But yeah, so it's kind of like a blast from the past. But this time it's different. They are being welcomed. They're just not happy to see Crosshair. So Echo makes a really cool comment about Omega keeping everyone in line. Now, it stays true to what her character has been lately, and she's very much been the Rock. Hunter, oh, we should split up. No. Or, no, you can't split us up. I can't lose anyone else. We've been split for so long. Bit of a silly girl. But yeah, basically, she is the glue that's binding the batch right now. That's why they're doing so well. That's why Crosshair was able to mold back into the group. That's why Rex is able to trust. That is why everyone starts to figure out. I mean, even later we had an interaction with with Havoc, I believe it was. I wrote down his name, the clone, and he was basically just saying, "Here, actually, you know what? I could find it." Is there a point of finding it? Hauser, that's it. Hauser basically sees the way Crosshair talks to Omega and is like, "Hey, look, I like what you're doing. Let's be friends." So she is the glue that's binding all of them. Hunter made a really cool little comment, being like, "Back off, buddy." Basically, they're going up against Crosshair. No one really wants Crosshair to be there. They consider him a part of the Empire. He's the enemy. He knows everything about Tantus. We've got to find out everything. And he's going to be the one to tell us. You can't tell me that you're a prisoner there. And after all of the stuff that you did. They just can't believe that he would defect. He doesn't have to tell them that. He struggled to tell Hunter that. One of his closest brothers. One of the other defectives. Like, yeah. He's a cool dude. But he's not going to let all the information slide straight away. Which is kind of true because he hadn't told Hunter a lot of the stuff anyway. But Hunter has his back. So from the end of the previous episode, they're back to their strength. They're back to being the Batch and at their peak. All working together really well. It's interesting that no one understands M count as well. Omega talks about, they're doing experiments on M count. And it's like, how do you not understand? Like, you worked with Jedi for how long? You don't know about midichlorians? Beyond me how they don't know. But I think that's maybe the way they're going to invite Asajj Ventress onto the show. Oh, I know someone that might know something. She has a lightsaber. Don't know if she's good or bad, but it's not red. So I guess you have to kind of believe it. But would they know who Asajj for who she is? Either way, I think that's the way they're going to introduce Asajj being like the expert. Yeah, we got a new episode of Porn Stars. Rick, I'm going to have to call in an expert here about this M count. That was a really bad joke. Porn Stars, P-A-W-N. Not the other one. Frickin' dirty-minded boys and girls. Probably just girl. I think it's just my beautiful girlfriend watching. I love you. Anyways, so we get a little comment here. Rex wants to go to Tantus. I think I'm right. And it's leading towards a clone rebellion. Ooh. There's no way in my mind that they don't do a clone rebellion. Like, even the clones that are there, that you see with Wolf later, he's so good to them just because they're clones. Brothers have got to hold each other's back. Because, effectively, no one else wants them. And if they have each other, then they'll be okay. Shadow Troopers, we find out, aren't your regular clones. They're specialized operatives. That Crosshair failed to get into their program. I don't know why. Probably because of up here. Probably because he doesn't have the mental capacity to just completely wipe. Because he has been altered. Maybe that's what caused the little hand. The pew! And he can't shoot straight. Maybe that's what caused all those experiments that are trying to get him to conform into this program. Maybe that's what actually caused his hand. I think it's leaning towards that. Like, it's because of the experiments that the Empire were doing to him, or maybe the torture that the Empire were doing to him. Not necessarily, I talked about in previous episodes that it was maybe like a DNA breakdown because he's an altered clone. Maybe the DNA is just not lasting as long and he's going to die earlier. I don't think that is as much the reason anymore, because then the other clones would have that problem, not just Crosshair. But who knows? Crosshair is visibly terrified once he knows that the operative is captured. And I'll tell you why. It's because they've got the tracking. And he knows, look, if you've got one here, I am so surprised that the Empire isn't on top of you right now. They need to end that guy. That guy's not talking. Yeah, no. Like, you may have gotten rid of his cyanide pill. You may have been able to keep him alive in this little cell. But they're coming, and they're going to get him. And they're going to get him the hell out of there. So it's super interesting to see the shift in Crosshair's face. Like, oh, God. No. This is not going to happen. Like, no, we've got to get him out of there. Really cool, because I haven't actually seen Crosshair afraid before. Anyways. So, when I was watching them all eat, and I saw Batcher, and I'm like, oh, the dog's going to be the one to find the shadow trooper that's been crawling around the place. And he's just like, huh? And he's eating. I'm like, beep. Like, what are you doing, bro? That's your job. That's literally your only job. You can't speak. You can't do anything. That's your character development. Figure it out. Find the bloody shadow trooper. He's behind you. And Omega goes, oh, no, don't worry about it. I just got a little plate of food here. You can have this instead. Shut up, bro. The dog is upset. He doesn't usually get upset. Go out there and find the bloody problem. So, Batcher, mate, you fell down here. But you picked it up later. So, I'll give it to you there. So, the Shadow Trooper, super scary. Super sinister when he's like, why don't you talk to him? I can't do a good clone impression, but he's like, why can't you talk to him about Tantus? Isn't that right, brother? It's like, wild. These guys are not the same clones. They have been ripped into. They have been torn apart. They are different. Scary. This is the Empire now. This isn't the Republic. War crimes are being committed on a substantial increase. Then we see that the Shadow Trooper, the better version, he does something that makes me go, oh, maybe it might be tech. When he's looking at that center console where they kind of highlight all of the plans, all of the original trilogy movies, everything. Anytime they need a center console, they've always got that big round table that has a hollow projection on it. He shoots a very specific point in that goes poof, and blows up and takes out one of the clones. Fireball. Fireball gets back up and he has this flamethrower and he's and he's just stops the Shadow Trooper from shooting. Next thing you know, the Shadow Trooper shoots him. Flamethrower goes down, blows up the grenades, and that's why they call him Fireball, because he went up in flames. He's a big old fireball now. Fireball. The Shadow Trooper gets a whole bunch of rocks falling onto him, but don't worry, my friends, he's got plot armor. We're all safe here. Little bit of plot armor does you some good. Also, one thing that I noticed with him understanding the technology, like, that's either Cody or Tech. I really hope they don't keep Tech alive. But he knew his way around technology. And he was fast with everything that he did. Like, when he was clicking on the panel, he's like, and he's like throwing all the stuff. It's very precise. It's very Tech-esque. Oh, I really hope it's not him. And also at the same time, I hope it's not Cody, because I just want Cody to go back to Kenobi. I want them to be besties again. I want them to, like, kind of find each other and just be like, look, I'm so sorry for shooting you down. He goes, no, it's fine. And then you get the... That was the worst impression. Oh my god, that was the worst impression of the beast that Kenobi was riding on. Oh my god. When he was riding, got shot down. I can't remember what that was called. But I named one of my Ark dinos based off it. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Should I search it up? Yeah, I have to because I have to figure that out. Okay, and we have Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's creature. Boga. That's it. Boga. And the Bogas are cool. The Bogas are really, really cool. I named one of my art creatures that because it can climb on the walls and it kind of does the same thing. It looks pretty much the exact same as the Boga. But yeah, anyways, I just want them to end up together. And when they did like an extra, like when they did the shot of when it was coming out and you just see all the smoke and fire as the troopers are coming in, I looked at the base and it kind of looks like a Mandalorian in a clone helmet, you know, but like a samurai version, like a samurai clone / Mando because it's got that big T. I thought it'd be cool. If it was that, I mean, it definitely looks like Mando's helmet for sure, but it has like the 2 rings on top, which gives it that kind of samurai look. Anyways, I thought that was cool. And then we see Wolf is back. Now we know Wolf actually is with Rex in Rebels, so I wonder where they're going to go with that. I can tell you because we're on to the next episode. Episode 7, Extraction. So because of the damage that had been sustained and the plot armor was incredible in this episode, the Shadow Trooper was able to get up, but he was unable to call his ship or use any of the technology on his arm to be able to call anyone. So basically, he's fucked. Then you see the crew going like, oh, where are we going to go? They go, and Rex goes, look, there's never only one exit. Makes his way down a ladder. Moves a couple of boxes, makes his way down a ladder, and then they're going down through this big staircase. The one thing that pissed me off, maybe it dropped the rating down just a little bit. Why did they not move the boxes back? You're in a secret hole. It's like every time in the movies when they go through the through the drains and stuff, like the sewage pipes, and then they don't move it back on top. What are you doing? And if you go, oh, Jeremy, but they're not strong enough to lift it because you see Wrecker was struggling. Wreck is strong, mate. He could pull it a little more. I just thought that was stupid. Then we have Wolf dropping down, and he meets Shadow Trooper. Shadow Trooper's like, hey, look, I can't tell you who I am, but the kid's in there alive. And the guy's like, what the hell? Like, Wolf is like, what the hell are you doing? All right, we're going in there. Wolf doesn't like this guy. But you see a really cool shot of the clone trooper from the 187th Legion. That's Mace Windu's. And he's laying down, he's dead on a rock. And you just see the still of Wolf looking at him. You can see how visibly distressed and upset he is. Just not having a good time. Just going, these are my brothers. What the hell is happening here? What did this guy do? And you can see that hatred ramp up a lot more after seeing all of the dead clones around the place. He's not happy. Because this might be an Empire scum. Anyways. So, we have Wolf saying, from seeing that shot, sorry, I forgot to say, we have Wolf seeing the clone and going, they're not insurgents. They're clones. And it's interesting, the clone commando so freely says, they're both. Wolf is a bit taken aback by that. He's like, don't you realize these are our brothers? we're not just troopers, we're also the clones. I talked previously about the contrast between the black and the white and the colorful, and I think they did a really good point of showcasing the colors of all of the clones. Like every clone that was there was super bright, like the purples, the reds, even a bright green. And if they didn't have too much bright colors, they had cool designs on their helmets and so on. It's just they did such a good job of separating who they really are. Yeah, and then Wolf pushes past the Shadow Trooper, which I put in here. I don't think it's Cody, because I just don't think Cody is going to fall. I don't think Cody's gonna like get knocked over by Wolf. Cody's too strong. Not necessarily like physically, but who he is as a person, his character. He's not gonna get pushed around by some random dude. Effectively. I don't care who you are. Don't push me. So I don't think it's Cody anymore. Could either just be Tech. Which, I hope not. I hope not. Anyways. Wolf is pretty willing to kill the Shadow Trooper. Now, I think basically by sealing it off, he's like, by the way, Captain, the trooper went down into that hole. And he goes, fuck it, seal it. I don't care. He does not like him. Is it because of how he thinks he treated the clones? I don't know, but I think it's a pretty good pick. Crosshair, as they're going through this tunnel, and the way he's acting, kind of makes me seem like he wants to make up for something. Like he feels like he has to make it up to these clones who he'd taken their brothers and so on while he worked for the Empire. Like he has to go over and beyond to be able to fix his name and seem better as a person by taking the full brunt by himself. You're in a whole group. You don't have to do that, but pretty strong character. On top of that, his aim is horrible, but his senses are still peak because he does the shot with the grenade, blows off, and then the Shadow Trooper's grip strength is insane because he just grabbed on by just his fingers. Now, I know because I've been training lately with my hand. I tore it open again. It was so stupid when I was training, but carrying stuff just by your fingers is so hard. So this guy's grip strength must be insane. Anyways, kind of makes me seem like it's Crosshair's rival. Who knows? Okay. Now onto something that I kind of thought of, and I think it's really interesting. Everything that the Shadow Trooper has done has rivaled Crosshair. If it came down to aim, if it came down to weapons, similarities in the way they walk and how they act and how they move, I have a feeling that this Shadow Trooper is a clone of Crosshair. Now, take a step back. I think that when Crosshair failed, they saw his skill of accuracy and they wanted to replicate it, and they turned it into a new clone. And that is this Shadow Trooper. Everything for the rest of the episode, the way they ran, the way they fought, everything to aim, no matter what it was, they are equals. Except for this guy's just a little better. You know why? Because Crosshair has the shaky hand. I think potentially the main contender for me, as a theory, is that Crosshair and, the Shadow Trooper is a clone of Crosshair. We'll see how it goes. but everything has pointed to yes. Everything. Crosshair's also acting pretty fatherly. Much more than Hunter. Much more. You know, can you carry that weight? Can you do this? Can you take care of that? Do you know how to use the gun? Like, come on. She's all good. Why are you worrying about her now? I feel like he thinks he owes something to her for saving. Or maybe he just knows the importance of Omega. Possibly we're seeing the end of Crosshair here. I think Crosshair is going to die very shortly. Because they're building him up just the same as they did Tech. Just the same. There is no doubt in my mind that if this Shadow Trooper is the clone of Crosshair, we might see him actually kill the original Crosshair and then watch the batch have to take him down. That would be a hard watch. Okay. Hauser, he trusts Crosshair because of the interactions with Omega, which is kind of interesting to see that because of Omega, again, she is the bridge to Crosshair and also the rest of the gang. Everyone who doesn't like him, they're all like, oh no, he's actually really good with this kid. And if he's good with the kid, he's good with me. I thought was really cool was when they were fighting everyone, when they were fighting all of those people, we saw that it was distinctly stormtroopers, or like TK troopers, compared to the clones. The ship that they shot down, Crosshair, had a gunshot, by the way. He got his aim back for a little bit. Obviously, he made a couple of shots, but his aim has been getting so much better throughout this season so far. He made a killer shot and he sent down the ship. But that ship was full of stormtroopers. They wouldn't do that to the clones. And it shows, hey, look, this is the Empire and how much more efficient and absolutely terrifying the clones are. Terrifyingly better the clones are than the stormtroopers. These are just average people that have signed up to be in an army, where the clones have been bred for it. They've been trained since birth to be the best fighters. And they are. They took everyone down. Even Batcher redeemed himself from missing out on the Shadow Trooper when he was around there and he couldn't even bark to save his life. And he took down a clone commando. That makes me think, are the clone commandos not as strong now? Are we not getting the same quality of clone commando as we did in the game Republic Commando? Personally, I think that clone commandos have to be better than that to be taken down by a lurker. Okay, I mean, I've played Battlefront 2 and I've taken down Jedi. When it comes, obviously it was AI, but still, it was Jedi. I took down Jedi as a clone commando. I thought it was really cool as you get through the episode, and they kind of get to the edge of the cliff and they go, "This is the meeting point. This is the meeting point." What's going on? And we see Wolf, and he comes in, and they just go, "I thought you were dead, Rex." And you see kind of Wolf sit back and process things and just go, I've been lied to. I've been misled. Maybe the Empire isn't exactly right. Hey, men, stand down. Let them go. I don't trust this situation that's going on right now. That has been one of my most loyal friends and trusted confidants. They can get out of there. And look, as the clone commander said, we don't know if they're right, but they're clones. So it's got to count for something. And I love that. I think the inhibitor chips aren't really working the same. I think they've all either failed or they're just done for, because we're seeing independent thought, independent action. The clones are able to think for themselves now. And having someone like Wolf on their side change the tides. Even before that as well, just to mention, I thought Crosshair was going to die. Straight up, I saw him. I was like, oh my God, this is it. Oh my God, this is like they're killing off all of the batch. And what are we going to do? This is how they kill Crosshair. He gets drowned. Hauser comes in. Boing. And he's stunned. He didn't even kill him. He just stuns him because obviously they wanted to keep the guy and interrogate him. But he gets stunned. And the Shadow Trooper falls off the waterfall. And we think, all right, bye-bye. Have a good one. Little do we know, he's not dead. He fell from that far. He must be important. He must be a main character. He must be someone like Crosshair. Huh? I'm still going to continue with this theory. I think that this guy has the benefits of Crosshair's genes, that they took that off of him, which makes him really special. Clone loyalty for the Republic. Yeah, I really do think that the batch is going out with a bang here. At the end of the episode, they were kind of like, look, we can't finish this. We can't finish this fight. But we have to. The Empire's too strong, but they're coming for Omega. We are going to die trying to save her. Boom. What a fantastic couple episodes. That was insane. Some of my favorite. Absolutely loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Best by far. Episode 6 was incredible. And as we wrap up this episode in the final minutes, we see how fans react to the episode. Now, I went online. I searched through. I always search through Reddit, articles, YouTube videos, comment sections. I've seen nothing but positivity again. Mainly, they treat it as two. What's everyone happy about? Everyone's happy about Wolf. Why? Because, well, we see him in Rebels. We know he's going to join up with Rex. How is he going to do it if he hasn't done it now? Maybe Wolf is going to be inside of Mount Tantus and he's going to help them from the inside so that they can infiltrate, get all the clones out properly. Who knows? But we know he's going to end up together with Rex. So, it's a pretty good bet. A lot of people also really happy with the way they've been treating Crosshair and Crosshair's character development. Now, bang on with this one. I'm loving it. But that's really all I've seen so far is just like action, 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 Wolf. Everyone's like, Wolf, Wolf, Wolf. Well, because he's part of the Wolf Pack, right? He's a part of the Wolf Pack. He's got Plo Koon as he had Plo Koon as the leader of his legion. And everyone knows Dave Filoni's favorite character is Plo Koon, so he just had the most amount of plot armor. Oh my God, it was like you can't. If Filoni likes a character, they're not going away. They're not going away. But it's really cool to see Wolf again, and I'm glad that everyone thinks the exact same way. We have next theories for next episodes. Okay. The Shadow Trooper is clone of Crosshair? Huh? That's a good theory. Wow, who would have thought of that? Definitely not you guys when you clicked on the title of this video. Omega will be the last Ronin. I'm back on that train. Omega's going to inherit all of the best characteristics and properties of the batch and turn into one final beast. Hunter will die and Crosshair will look after Omega. We've seen Crosshair become more of a fatherly figure and Hunter kind of seclude back. Now, I don't know how accurate this one's going to be, but if anyone's going to survive, it's going to be Omega. And if Crosshair's going to be getting a little closer to her like he is now, maybe the rest of the batch die and it kind of forces them to be together. And they escape and they go out and they fight crime for the rest of their lives. Then we have the final. Wolf will help turn the clone commandos, because the clone commandos are all of the strongest troopers that they have at Mount Tantus. And if he can do that from the inside with his powerful presence, which we saw the clone commander that was with him just went like, oh, yes, sir, straight away. Maybe he's powerful enough to help from the inside. Predictions for next week's episodes. Asajj Ventress will explain the M count. What? Wolf will defect. I think he's either going to defect this next episode or he's going to defect later on when he's coming from the inside. Then the next one, Rex and Hunter will split up until the infiltration of Tantus. I think so, because Hunter and Rex were kind of like, oh, look, yeah, this is where we part ways. We are putting you two in too much danger, and also we need to just focus on Omega. Okay. We're actually ready for the next segment. This is one that I've been looking forward to. I have been practicing and preparing. Basically, I got this idea from watching the latest episode of Beyond the Dune Sea. It's called Power Battles. So basically, what I've done is I've got sick drawing. Thanks, guys. Thanks for noticing. I've got 116 characters from Star Wars in there. And I have a Grogu tissue box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these in this box, random it all up, toss it all up, and when I do that, pull it out, and 2 different people, I will get them to fight. Now, we're only going to do 1 a week, okay? Keep it a little interesting. Only going to do 1 a week because that is going to be way too much, and it's just going to... it's going to take up too much time because I really enjoy making kind of like theories about that. Like in there, I've got, Dexter Jetstar and Jar Jar Binks. Like imagine if they fight. Or what about if Jar Jar Binks fought Darth Vader? I wonder who's going to win. Oh, we don't know. Anyway, so ASMR. Look away. So the first character we have, also it's all pretty much the same size. First character we have, Bo-Katan Kryze and Clone Commando Gregor. That kind of sounded like Wrecker. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can edit that in. Bo-Katan Kryze and Clone Commando Gregor. Tough. I'm going to go Bo-Katan when she's in Mando Season 3. She has the Darksaber. Yeah, Bo-Katan's going to take down Gregor. For sure. Easy. Only thing I will say is with the Darksaber, she takes him down. But if she doesn't have the Darksaber, I think Gregor takes her. I actually do. I actually think Gregor takes her. Only because he is able to take down. If you see in the episode where he was introduced, that's going to go away for the next one. In the episode that he was introduced, he took down a whole legion of separatist droids. Single-handedly. I don't think Bo-Katan could do the same. I don't think that she has that in her. I think with the Darksaber and her kind of leveled up, absolutely smashing it. But let's say at the same time point, so Clone Wars Season 7, yeah, when they're on Mandalore, let's say Bo-Katan and she's with Death Watch and she goes up against Gregor. Let's say that he just joins in the fight and they just randomly meet up. I think Gregor's taking her on that one. She's strong, but also all of the weapons that Gregor has in his clone commando suit, just way too good. He's way too strong. Easy. No difference. Okay. That was kind of fun. That was really cool. Like, you have all these different versions of different characters. Like, you could have Darth Vader and as Anakin Skywalker. You know, like he hasn't turned into a robot. Okay, next one. We have questions from the audience. All right. So I put out every week. I'll put out my I put out on my Instagram questions to be like, hey guys, check out what I'm doing. And if you have anything that you want to hear me talk about live on the show, just ask it. So we've got a couple of good questions, and we also have a question from last week that I filmed the episode before they answered, before they asked a question, so I'm going to ask one here. Okay, so we have from Tia Galanos, what's an unpopular / controversial opinion you have about the franchise? Solo is one of the best Star Wars movies. And I think that people don't like it because it was released at the wrong time. Hands down, one of the coolest, best cinematics, great storyline, fantastic acting. Yeah, Solo is one of the best movies that Star Wars has ever had. Controversial. Ooh. So we have another question from Tia Galanos. Wow, you are firing on all cylinders. Would be crazy if you were my girlfriend. What? How did you get so into Star Wars? You know what? I'm going to use this question. Screenshot. Boing. I'm going to use this question and I'm going to make a whole episode about it when I'm not breaking down some of the TV shows. But as a quick overview, how did I get so into Star Wars? Star Wars is a fantasy world that you can escape your own reality and enter into a beautiful universe that's filled with hope. When I was younger and I was struggling to find identity and understand what I'm meant to do, Star Wars was such a good way for me to learn what's right and wrong, how to kind of do things, to understand, you know what, you still have the chance to be good. You still have the chance to be better if you just focus on who you truly are. And it's helped me through some of the darkest moments because it's given me the clarity that I've needed to be able to go forward with my life. So I'll turn that into a bigger episode, but that is like a very general, very quick one. We have from the boys at Beyond the Dune Sea, the goats. The goats. The goats. The best ever. Thank you so much for commenting, by the way. I'm like the biggest fan of these guys. They are the nicest people ever, especially Connor. Seth, I love you, but Connor, you are so incredible. So incredible. You make my week, man. You make my year. I nearly forgot to answer the question. So from Beyond the Dune Sea, they said, what era of Star Wars would you like the animation team to head next? Old Republic. Old Republic for sure. Yeah. Old Republic, 100%. 100%. You could not get a more interesting animation because you can actually do more. Live action's hard because you got restraints. And they haven't really gone into Old Republic a lot. I remember like the Knights of the Old Republic and the number 2 of that. Like Coda 1 and 2, the trailers were insane. Incredible. And you just go, oh my God, this is like the coolest thing ever. And then nothing like that happened in the actual in the actual games. No, it happened to an extent, but not really the same. So if we could get an animation, especially with an animation team of the Old Republic, 100%. That's it. I also have another question. I've just got to get it up here. Yeah, from Laird Geek, which is Seth from Beyond the Dune Sea. Incredible. That's from last week. I'm so sorry that I didn't actually see this. I'm such a silly duffer when I was filming. But he said, who wins in a fight, Jango Fett or Din Djarin? I'm just going to say, I don't know. 100% Din Djarin. Din Djarin with the ambient phase pulse blaster or rifle. It's changed a couple of times. With the Darksaber, with the dual pistols at the end of Season 3, I think he's 100% got him. Jango is an incredible fighter, and he helped liberate so much of Mandalore. But I feel like Din is just... Maybe it's because Disney's kind of rammed him up a lot more to make him seem better, to kind of get some more views. But still, I think Din Djarin by far. And I'm also so incredibly biased because he's my favorite character ever. So, yeah. Din Djarin. Thank you so much for the question. And then we have the final question from Isaiah or Zai.Bonfield. I wonder where you are. You're definitely not in the room down there. How are you just so goddamn sexy? Well, it's funny you say that. It's really funny you say that because personally, I don't know myself. Sometimes just... Yeah, I know. If you are rizzed up behind the camera there, please, hey, give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Okay? I will rizz you up every time. And Isaiah, to you, I will give you a big old smooch on the lips. Okay? Why am I so sexy? I got it from my mama. Got it from my dad. Both of them combined made this dude. But just a reminder, I have a girlfriend. And I'm not willing to cheat on her. Okay? And if I have to get permission. You have to sign the permission slip. So we have the questions for the audience. Is the Shadow Trooper a clone of Crosshair? What? Will Omega be the last of the batch? I think so. If so, this is a two-parter. Who's going to die first? I mean, obviously, we all thought it was going to be Crosshair for a sec because he's like under the water, like... But who do you think is going to die first? Is Wolf good yet? Based on the comment that he said right after he saw them, I don't know. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see Wolf back. I know that he's going to have good in him at one point, but is he good yet? That's the question. Okay. That about wraps it up. Next week, we're going to go into a breakdown of the next episode. So stay tuned. I'm going to be posting a couple of different things on my story to kind of tease it and to talk about what's upcoming in the next few weeks. So get excited, get ready. Thank you so much for coming. My name's Jeremy Blore, and this has been Blore on Mandalore. Awesome. All right, cool.